If you're considering picking up the iPhone 14 in 2026, then wait, because there are many things that you should be aware of. It was launched back in 2022, and back then it was a solid device, but now it's been almost 4 years. Yes, you can get it at a fraction of the price, but there are also a lot of compromises, and before spending your hard-earned cash, you should know these things. Starting with the most important thing, performance. The iPhone 14 runs on Apple's A15 Bionic chip, featuring a 6-core CPU, 5-core GPU, and a 16-core neural engine. Even in 2026, this chip refuses to feel old. Day-to-day usage is still incredibly smooth. Social media, multitasking, navigation, and streaming feels just as responsive as new iPhones. Games like BGMI, PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile run at high graphics without noticeable frame drops or overheating. Even tasks like editing and exporting 4K videos remain smooth. I ran Geekbench on it and it scored 2353 in single core and 5793 in multi-core, which is a pretty good score for a smartphone from 2022. From a performance standpoint, the iPhone 14 continues to feel dependable and stress-free. I recently tested against the iPhone 16 and in some areas it was better. Don't believe me? Check out this video. In terms of design and build quality, Apple hasn't changed much over the years. And that actually works in the iPhone 14's favor. You still get an aluminum frame paired with a glass back and the same premium in-hand feel and a solid durability. It's IP68 water and dust resistance, and it weighs just 186 grams, which makes it very lightweight. Compared to newer iPhones, the differences are subtle but noticeable. There's no action button, no camera control, and it still uses the Lightning port instead of the USB-C. So to plug it into other devices like MacBook, you're gonna need a Type-C to Lightning or a Type-A to Lightning cable. That means carrying an extra cable around in 2026, which can be a deal breaker for some. But aside from these omissions, the iPhone still looks modern and holds up really well. Now, the display is where the iPhone starts to show its age, but not necessarily in a bad way. You're still getting a 6.1-inch OLED panel with sharp visuals and excellent color accuracy. However, the notch feels very outdated in 2026. The 60Hz refresh rate is another limitation. If you're coming from a 120Hz phone, you'll notice it immediately. Brightness is also lower than newer models. It maxes out at 1200 nits, but I think it's decent enough for outdoor use. That said, for watching videos, browsing, or casual gaming, the display still does its job well. Camera performance is still great on the iPhone 14. The dual camera setup includes a 12-megapixel main sensor and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera. While newer iPhones have more advanced processing and features, the fundamentals here are strong. Photos still come out sharp with natural colors and reliable dynamic range. You can capture some really good images with it, but there's no macro mode or spatial mode. As for the videos, the iPhone 14 can shoot 4K Dolby Vision videos at up to 60 FPS from both the main and the ultra-wide camera. For everyday photography and content creation, the iPhone 14 still remains more than capable. Now, let's talk about the battery life. On a full battery, you can expect around 6 to 6.5 hours of screen time, which is enough for a full day of moderate usage. However, if you're buying this phone used or refurbished, battery health becomes extremely important. Anything below 85% will likely require a replacement sooner rather than later. So that's something you should factor into the overall cost. As for the charging, it supports 15-watt MagSafe charging, which is very handy, and fast wired charging that takes it from 0 to 50% in just 30 minutes. One major limitation with the iPhone 14 in 2026 is software features. It does not support Apple Intelligence, which is now a key selling point of newer iPhones. And even though Apple Intelligence is kind of useless right now, I expect it to get smarter and better in the future. So if AI-based features matter to you, then this phone will feel incomplete. That said, it's running on the latest iOS 26. Apple is still expected to support the iPhone 14 with iOS and security updates until 2029, which means you can easily use it for 4 more years, including this one. Now, pricing is the most crucial thing that you need to be aware of. In 2026, the iPhone 14 only makes sense if you're getting it at the right price. If you can find it around $300 or 35,000 to 38,000 rupees, it becomes a solid value iPhone. Anything significantly higher and you're better off stretching your budget for a newer model. And for refurbished iPhone 14, anything over 30K is a stretch, even if the battery health is over 95%. So, is the iPhone 14 still worth buying in 2026? Well, the answer is yes, but only for the right user. If you want a smooth, reliable iPhone experience, don't care about AI features, USB-C or 120Hz refresh rate, and you're getting it at a good price, then the iPhone 14 still delivers. It's stable, powerful enough, and backed by years of software support. But if the pricing creeps too close to newer iPhones, the appeal quickly fades. Comment below, would you still consider buying the iPhone 14 in 2026, or do you think it's time to move on? I'm Prakhar, and I'll see you in the next one.